Alright, Brings. Thanks for joining us. It's a little bit later than usual. I had some technical difficulties. Not with this, but with the webinar, the chat room, or the webinar is partially down. And I don't know if I can get it back up. So, yeah, they keep updating everything. I don't know details, but. And I forgot how I do things too. It's been a while. They keep changing things and doing this and so I get to spend the next 2 days trying to figure out what else to do. To try to make everything as easy as possible there. Of course, everybody, technology tries to make life as complicated as possible. So I thought I was supposed to go forward instead of going backwards sometimes. So it's a pain in the ass, but I don't know. So greetings. So to say, I guess another reason why this is happening. It's not a big deal, but it's just a pain in the ass. It's just a time consumer. So tonight is the IMF and the World Bank. And if I disappear after this, you'll know why. Jeez. Talk about the head of the dragon, or the whatever you want to call it. We'll just call it the dragon, or the creature. So imagine not many people really. I don't even think about it that much. But as we go into our world of awakening, I forgot to put Trump in the title, but. So yeah, I guess Trump has his good old fashioned, join the club, right? So he's got the virus now. Yeah, I don't know. I'm seeing. I don't know. I don't know. When it gets to this type of situation, it gets kind of tricky. I mean, I think he'll pull us through, but yeah. So let's put it this way: I see other timelines out there. And I don't see him in 2021. Let's put it that way. But I think he'll survive. But it's I'm not surprised this has happened. I knew something was coming. That's not it. There's more on the way. But yeah, that's gonna cause a lot of trouble. We'll have to wait and see how things. I believe he's gonna survive, but yeah. I'm not going into that. Yeah, it's yeah. We'll see if anybody comes through on that. So the IMF and everything. Like I said, if I disappear after today, I don't know why. I'm not expecting that to happen, but you just never know. Okay, ZyvaTower.com. We have private sessions somewhere. Google Hangout, Zoom, and China by phone. Well, because of my technical difficulty, and it's been a long day at work, I'm still I'm on the 25th of last month. I would have been caught up a little bit more, but yeah, same situation here. It just goes webinar sign up, social network, grab it, and behind the scenes. Situations there. Thank you for support. Oh, wait, we're not done yet. Oh, where are we going? So, all right, it says IMF. And it's all like Illuminati. It's like, yeah, these are the people who can make it disappear. So, yeah. I mean, some of them might be doing rituals, not all of them. A lot of them are too good for the rituals and all that, the human sacrificing and all that. They just get somebody else to do it for them. So there's the World Bank. I imagine not many people really think about these things that much. I've been thinking about the UN, but I don't really put I don't put too much attention to these guys all that much. So, well, that's about to change. So I figure the tall whites are a good connection. And I mean, people want to know about the who's ruling the world and everything, but then when you bring it up, they don't want to hear it. So, but there's other. So going to tall whites, we're going to other beings too, whoever might show up. So, but yeah, these guys. I mean, yeah, if you want to know like the scorpion that's running the show, human trafficking, child trafficking, all that is weird to those guys because they cover it up. Obviously, they're involved with it, but they definitely feel a lot of cover up energies with it. They are starving right now. I mean, they're not starving like a normal person, but they are not doing well as obviously, right? The world is kind of, well, yeah, because I mean, this is definitely affecting them. This is a attack on them, too. I don't think our money system's going to break down just, well, not yet. It's getting there. Yeah, I don't see a financial collapse or anything like that. We would have already had it, but yeah, things are going to start getting slimmer around the world. That's for sure. So, we want your Illuminati energies. I mean, people want to do their healing and all that, right? Are they directing their healings towards the IMF and the World Bank? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, whoever. It's blocked too. They don't want you to see this stuff and give you another. So, okay, going to this type of subject matter, it's like, okay, I'm going to dive into this guy's energy and I'm going to expose them, spiritually, maybe not physically, because you might end up in a duffel bag somewhere. But they know astrally, they know you're going to do it, and then they screw with you. Yeah, they just do. Like you have one good thing happen and you have a bad thing happen, or a test or something like that. It's like, oh, that's weird. Two things happen at the same time. That's kind of strange. So yeah, my chat room run down. That's a big deal. Well, it's kind of a big deal. It's going to take my whole weekend away, probably. So, and I'm diving. I was going to talk about these guys a couple of days ago, but I forgot. Gee, how convenient. So anyway, I figured tall whites go back to the Orion stuff and whoever else. Anunnaki that's still part of the subject matter. It's not in the title, but it's still might go into our Arcturian energies to give a different perspective. But tall whites still have a lot of they talk to a lot of people, but I imagine they don't look it up. But I figured that's a group that people probably aren't hearing that much from. Yeah. All right, blessings. Here we go. These are tall whites from Orion. That's ones I connect to. There's one. I think there's several all over the place, but Orion's one I'm connected to the most. So, all right, blessings. Greetings. This is Cornelius with the tall whites. Greetings to you and your world of awakening. Yes, well, first about us. A tall white energy, yes, we can change our color. It is a faded color, a blue, a green, even a black, depending on the being. It is our form of shape shifting. It is a new experience as you comb your hair and put new clothes on. Usually we wear the same outfits normally, but we can change the environment of our skin tone. It's also how we connect to things too. So we change our vibration, we shift it to a blue, green, or black, whatever it might be. Doesn't mean we're fully that color, but we have that residue of green and blue in our skin structure. And is this how we just connect into an aura of the earth, an aura of the planets, a civilization, whatever it might be? We connect to a certain chakra and we turn into that color of the chakra. And yes, there are black chakras. There's a lot of knowledge there. It is not of the dark side, though. No. It is of, they're all of different point of views. So we're not always putting attention to change our color, skin color. As we are connecting, we change color. Now, this doesn't always happen, but it is known to happen to some of us because our vibrations is quite different. Some of you feel that too as you go into your transformations. You feel like you're shifting, changing your way you look, or you just cut your hair, color your hair, or do something of that sort. So that's how you're connecting to spirit. And usually, yes, the more colorful, the better. Eventually, more people will be more of a saturation of color in your new, yes, your new environment in due time. Doesn't mean everyone's going to be walking around with wildflower colors, but we do see much of that coming into your environment in your future state. And also your trees and your weather will feel that vibration also. So your trees can change that color, the same color as you. So if you wear vibrant colors, a tree can take on that energy. Of course, that higher vibration happens quicker, but in your third dimensional environment, you'd be surprised. But not everybody has a mission here to connect to nature in the normal sense of just connecting to the trees. Some of you, I guess, are downloading knowledge from the Akashic records where you're always with the earth and the tree energies, the earth is working with you, and you're just doing whatever you can to survive in your earth environment. Just keeping yourself stable. You don't have to go to the nature and hug a tree every 5 minutes, but some might feel to do so. But some of you are going to the Akashic records. You know you're off world. That's another reason why your dream state is shut off also. Some of you are here bringing us specific information too. So it's not always here to be downloaded instantly. As tall white energies, we are one, yeah, as you can say, we're guardians of the earth, as we are very well known of how Orions operate and other beings. We don't usually get along or involved with their politics. They know better than that. As we are not a political world, but we are a collective that we just easily connect to each other. We be as you want to be. Yes, our emotions aren't always that emotional, but we are, yes, a highly intelligent species that knows a great deal, but usually, yes, we might seem a little bit stiff in the way we operate, but that's why we connect to Pleiadians and Syrians and other beings to calm ourselves down, to open up some, because we have a collective energy that's actually protecting us. That's why we act the way we do. That's why I've heard stories of us where we're a little bit intimidating or we're protecting ourselves. We don't need this human environment. We don't need to go through what you're going through. We don't need that in our experience. You do, but we're learning from you. And we are looking at our societies like, aren't we glad we didn't make those choices? But we are here, of course, to assist you on your journeys, of course. But we feel like we don't need this in our environment of what you're going through. We don't need to, but of course, we are here to help you out of it. Yes, we don't feel like as a collective we need to copy what you're going through. But yes, we are sympathetic to your energies. We are not one better than you, no, but we are ones that we just don't feel like we have to experience this in your way, but we are experiencing it our way. So we are with you. We would not be on your planets if we were not with you on this. So we are your children in some ways, or your next generation, you can say. Yes, more emotional, as you are wanting from us to improve us, as you improve yourselves, as the dictators of your world. Oh, yes, IMF and your World Bank are, yes, Illuminati programmers. They're programmers of worlds. Yes, they might have insight. You use the parasitic energies, you use all types of forms of control over your planet. It goes over the mind. It blocks the crown chakra. But not many are really thinking about your crown chakra, but it's a way it affects your thinking. To think a certain way. So your human, your average society has their, or your normal normies have their crown chakras blocked on many different ways. It's quite, yes, they use technologies, of course. They're elites. They use not just monetary, well, they use the money, the World Bank, IMF, they use that leverage. It's like a satellite. It's sent across the world to program society, to bring weakness, to fund, yes, terrorism, but not to have their hands in that mess. But it is a place of laundering money on many levels, as many of you can probably connect to. Yes, globalized mobsters. And they know what they're doing is not right, but they don't really care. Not all are of Illuminati entities, deep state, no. But there are quite many figures there. Yes, they do feel like they are above humanity. They do feel like as if they are entitled over your society. You are just their pawns in their pool. And many of you are realizing and go much deeper than that. As you are, but you can also see them in astral, falling apart in astral. Yes, you might see their energies just in pieces, as they are not what they used to be. Well, they used to be the kings of your world. They take the monarchies of the past and lay it over their buildings and energy fields to make them look intimidating. It's all about intimidation. They have security everywhere. Don't mock them. They are too good for that. But yes, they are. Yes, they do preach on your planet their belief systems, their religion. But they are not here to last forever. They are, yes, weakening from the inside, but they'll never admit to that. Well, because as you go into your high vibrational realities, the money system eventually just dissolves. And you find a way, just like when you try to figure out anything in life, you solve a problem and then you move on. Same thing with the monetary system. That's a little bit bigger to move, but you'll figure out a way to live without it, without chaos. And many of you are realizing what you're here to bring. And not everyone's fully activated at this time, as your future is still being formed. So your place here, you feel like it's now. Everything has to be now. And it is happening now, just not the way you like it to be. We are building the timelines of the future through your visions of a better place. Imagine many that now are visualizing a better world at this moment. Because those are timelines that you are working on. Difficult ones for that matter. One timelines without the fear. With more of a understanding of reality. And you're going to continue to do so. So you're becoming more masters of who you are. That is why you're here. Master of your timelines. Masters of your own fate. That is not fully clear at this point. Many of you feel that way. yes, we're not here to sell that idea, but that is what you are working towards. You might not feel like you're fully empowered, but you're working towards it. We believe you are. Those that feel like they are. Others are not quite ready for it because there's lessons to be learned. Well, these, yes, the World Bank and all, yes, they have. They bring in portal energies from other realities, beings that are not exactly kind. Yes, you're creatures from Orion and manipulators that are formation through money. You see, the damage money has done good, but it's also done a lot of bad. So they take the form of money instead. They just hide themselves well. So yes, they show themselves in symbols, but mostly of your past. But they do put symbols of who's here right in front of you through your media. Yes, the movies and other things. Of course they do. So they just, yeah, they're not showing the monster creatures here are not showing up in the physical, but they are showing up through myth, through your modern mythology. So they are showing they do exist. As creativity comes from the astral, comes from the Akashic records. So they are here right in front of you after all. Just have to learn how to decode it. It's like, yes, I saw your movie yesterday. Where are you today? Can you show up here in the physical? That's what you're working towards at this time. So, yes, of course, there's unicorn energies. There are more positive realities. The fox is a very powerful being that's not usually seen in that way, but is a canine, very intelligent canine that's once again not quite understood. As much to your world to decode, and your minds are opening up. That's what your new Earth is all about. Is you see the world as it is, but you turn it around to a more happier reality, an easier, more fluid society. You take a car and flip it around and make it cleaner. Of course, you still have some time for that, as the automobiles will be safer in due time. And so is your politics, as that's yes, you're Donald Trump conveniently getting sick, conveniently at this time, as there's yes many timelines that are about to change. A change like that shows you're going into a mental earthquake, at least on a political scale, of to shake things up. And that's all we can say on that. A new timeline has come in, as you can see, because that wasn't always the case. It did not have to go in that way, but some feel that was necessary. And many of you are involved with this, what is going on today. As for the future and all that, that's up to you. We are only here to watch. Also, we are here to. We know, yes, we know much of your reptilians. We have a great understanding of them. We don't normally interact with them. Some do, of course, but many of us are misunderstood like a reptilian is misunderstood. Where reptilians are another form of human, the darker side, but also the emotional side. They're actually quite emotional. Of course, your crocodiles are even they're emotional, especially when they're having a good day. But a lot of reptilians are afraid of their emotions. Their emotions take over them, and then that's when they become reckless. Like when the relationship falls apart and they go ballistic. That's where a lot of that comes and bleeds into your reality. As on other alien beings, Lady Tall Whites, if your relationship falls apart, it's like, well, now I'm single. What do I do now? And that's it. It's you stay friends with that person if you want to, but it's not the heartache, it's not the end of the world. It is a mutual understanding, and you can talk to each other. On your world, it is a psychotic mess, as you can see. But not with everybody. Well, because people don't know who they are. That's why you have the mysteries of a relationship coming in. Well, you get tangled up in something you don't understand. You don't know yourself. You don't. That's kind of the point, though, isn't it? It's the you're all wearing masks, but it's over the eyes, not over the mouth. The mouth is always saying something, but the eyes aren't always seeing, as you can see. So that's why you're here to open that up. And that's what you're doing. You're here to have easier relationships, but you're also, if you are single, that's okay too, without all the drama from others that are going and saying that you're seeing that you are alone. Because many of them can't handle it. That's why you get backlash. They can't handle being alone, but then they'll take a relationship from hell as long as they don't have to be alone. And that's quite normal on your planet, as you can see. Well, it's a simple understanding of each other is what you're here to do. You're simplifying your reality. It's not that easy, of course, right now. It still can be exciting. When you know yourselves more clearly, it becomes exciting. It's no longer, some feel like it's dull now. Well, you went through the negative repercussions of it. You went through the unknown, but now you're going into the time of the knowing. The knowing of yourselves, knowing of each other should actually make this world about more exciting. Of course, it takes time for that. First, you gotta get used to this knowing who you are. Even if you have not all the answers, but you know you're a multidimensional being that goes forever. And you're trusting more of your senses, that you can be anything. Yes, in this reality, it's a little bit difficult to manifest in some areas, but you know in other realities you have it right now. And eventually you'll bring it into this reality if it's necessary. If it's necessary. So if you dream of a Corvette, it's like, where's my Corvette? Well, most likely is another version of you driving around on one right now. Or you wish to move. Now, interesting, if you want to move and it's not happening, and it's a place where all these riots are happening, it's like, I wouldn't move, but man, there's a lot of riots going on. In another reality, you're there right now with no riots. So your energy is already there where the riots are to bring a positive energy. You are there, definitely. It's like you're in my home. Of course, it's in another dimension where there's a riot, but you are healing that vibration. Some of you are actually causing the riots to let that darkness out. So eventually, it can be a peaceful reality that you see in on another version of Earth. It's like, let all this darkness out. Yes, riot as much as you can, get it out of your system, and then you can find peace. But many have difficulties with that, of course. And even corruption is going through all of these um, groups that are controlling the minds. Much of that is mind control, of course. That is the alien way. As well, it's fun. Helps you find identity. If you need to be part of a cult, you have not finally found your identity yet. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just going by the rules of a religion or a spiritual cult or any cult for that matter. It's like you're here to figure yourself out, no matter what. You know what they have, you sign up for it. But eventually, most of you release, but not everybody does. It's like another version of a school. Schools are cults also. They're just done by the government. They seem like cult-like, don't they? You wear the same costumes, which some places do. It's like a cult-like environment. It's an alien environment. Also, it's a high mind. It is a high mind. Might not like a high mind, but it's another way to grow. All this is all about growth. It's not the easiest growth, but never intended to. And some of you might not like these cult leaders because you see what they're doing, but some people need it. It's like people need to take that manipulation. For you, you've probably been through it or done something more worse at one time, so you can identify it easier. So, but they know that the cult leaders know what they're getting into, of course. But that's their own soul growth also. So maybe they can be a more positive influence. They might say it's positive, usually it's not. Not when they have a control system over people's minds. That's usually how it works. Because you can be on a mothership and still be controlled by the mother or the father. There are fatherships too. You can be under control. And some of you know, now not all of them are like that, but there are alien ships that are very cult like also. So maybe you can believe maybe you can tap into that. So the hippie ships where everybody can do whatever they want, they're usually despised by cults normally. And that's why some of you that are here in the channeling world or any type of you're different. And yes, and the cults don't like you because you're free as a bird. They hate that. They need to be in a group, but you are. You're free as a bird and you're just you might not be always having an easy time, but many of you are. You have your own set of challenges, of course, but many of them can't handle those challenges. So they see you going through those challenges like, well, that's screw that person. But you are surviving. Yes, it's always going to be a challenge, especially when you're out on your own, like you have your own business or entrepreneurs. Yes, it's kind of scary, but you are knowing you want to stay free. And that's what you are all well, you are learning in your own way what is necessary for being here. As for your controllers of this world, yes, these world banks, the IMFs will not last forever. Yes, those are all motherships in their own way. They are the dictators of your reality. But as you go tapping, because some of them, they've already for us to be talking about it right now in this way shows that they're not as powerful as they thought they were because they keep themselves out of subject matters. They keep themselves from being mentioned. But it's like, I'm going to mention you. I'm going to mention you. It might take a while, but you're going to mention them. And when you do, it stings. I mean, if you're praising them, they're okay with that. But if you're not doing that, it's a whole different story. When especially you say, connect to them in astral, what do you see? And can you survive it? Well, they like implanting ideas. Yes, come to us, be a part of us. Like, just let our world be free. And that is very Orion of them. Yes, there are Orion groups through your money system, of course. Hiding in plain sight, of course. With no monsters or pterodactyls anywhere, no. They just look plain, ordinary, boring, uninteresting, but rich and controlling and manipulative on many levels. Because they mess with your astral realms. They shut you off from it, but also they control much of the spirit realm too, because now you signed up for it. As you incarnate here, but now many of you are expiring those contracts with this system. And they don't like that. So when you expire their contracts, their money is no longer value, and the stock market will eventually crash. Not yet. You still have to understand. Well, the idea is to understand your reality first before the world burns altogether. It will transform. Is a better word for it. So don't worry. But you all have to understand how this world works, inner workings, inner connections, and how to turn it off. Some of you already know where the switch is, but it's not ready to be switched off just yet. But many of you are just understanding, yes, the controllers of your earth, making peace with them, or just bringing a better decision to the table. Less control, less, because they feel like they're doing your world a justice. In some ways, they probably are right to a degree because they are bringing it, because they own your reality right now. Through the money system, through the banking system, that is your reality. As it manifests as a lot of things here. Keeps you in a bubble for right now. Well, many of you are popping that bubble, as you can see. So as I mentioned more, in a spiritual tone, without violence, of course, yes, then they start to feel unwanted or not wanted anymore. There's much more to them, but we are not done with them at this moment. But so I send you blessings, energies to your incarnation as your world slowly unlocks. As you see, a timeline is happening with your Trump is different is always good. Maybe not always easy, but it is good to turn things around, and you'll continue to do so.